In short, I don't recommend it. In my opinion, Fire Emblem Engage is a very boring game. Boring in the sense that this game introduces a lot of characters who share the depth of cardboard. Dialogue goes on and on with repetition of boring information we don't need that doesn't push the story further, reveal anything about the cast, and it over-explains the feelings and emotions you are supposed to feel instead of actually feeling it. Almost all characters act the same way. There is no interesting contrast or conflict, and when it's there, it's bare minimum. My previous experience with Fire Emblem franchise is through Awakening and Three Houses, and I loved Awakening and Three Houses because despite the fact the story was bland, both games had really interesting characters. But the saving grace of these games was the gameplay. I could come back to these games over and over again simply because they're fun to play. And I wanted to play Fire Emblem Engage because despite what I'd heard about the game's story, I wanted more of that sweet strategy RPG gameplay. And I'm here to say, I was wrong. Turns out a game can have such a bad story that not even gameplay can save it. Engage offers a lot of combat, and once you get into it, it can be fun, but it never feels fulfilling. A lot of people have praised the game for the combat, that this made the game worth playing, but I did not get that impression at all. Not every game needs a great story, but at the very least a game without a story doesn't force a bad story on you. Who am I fighting? Why are we fighting? Who am I? These are things that could make me push through bad gameplay to find out more. These things matter to me. But in the case of Fire Emblem Engage, it has good gameplay, but it doesn't stand out well enough to make it worth it. Every time you enjoy something about the game, you are immediately pulled back into what makes the game bad. Unbearable characters. For example, there is the option of permadeath, where a character permanently dies if they die on the field of battle. And it just does not bring any tension to the game when I don't care for any character, and more than anything, I would like the main character dead. There's a lot less building relationships with characters and getting to know them, having interesting interactions with characters, both a positive and a negative since there's no reason you'd want to get to know any of these characters. But it almost seems like this was a decision from the start. Do you like these characters? No? Well, here's a couple of guys you can hit. I'm not saying, hey, you gotta go back to the things you did before, you gotta keep doing the things that I like. I would have actually been fine without any social aspects this time around, and seen more of an expansion of the features we got to see here, like the personal area, the world map, or the engage ability, where you merge with the spirit of an elderly person. I thought these features were fine, but it's not a vast improvement that makes me want to play this over previous games. It's just different. I am disappointed by the lack of social elements with good characters, but I am also a strategy and RPG fan. And even trying to look at this game purely as a combat game, I just don't personally vibe with it. It definitely has the typical Fire Emblem combat, but that's all there is to it. It's there in its most basic sense, but I can't in good faith recommend this game because that alone does not make it worth a purchase. There's a big difference between a game flatly offering you nothing in terms of personalization between you and your enemies, where there is the space to make your own story and characterization of your enemies and allies, and a game giving you every reason to dislike continuing your journey. The problem isn't that it uses common plot tropes. I like overused tropes. It's simply that it introduces a lot of things, but it's directionless and it all goes nowhere. I have amnesia. Engage. It doesn't really feel like something for newcomers, it doesn't feel like something for older fans other than, hey, I recognize that. That's a thing from Fire Emblem, in Fire Emblem. Now this is fan service. It's just all around the minimum to appeal to everyone and no effort to appeal to anyone. I was very disappointed by this. I've had this idea that maybe I would learn to like it the more I got to play. Or at the very least, hey, if this game is bad, we could still get a good Fire Emblem after this, right? And now I'm not so sure. This was made for old fans and newcomers of the series, and a lot of people like this game fine, so maybe I'm just not a Fire Emblem fan. I'm just a Fire Emblem Awakening and Three Houses fan. Fire Emblem Engage. I would feel like a bad person if I encouraged anyone to play this game just for the combat. Not recommended. Running animation looks like how I ran in gym class when I was 10 years old.
you.